Hi there everyone, Andrew Chubb here from Awalé Resources, coming to you today with some really exciting news. It's our first mineral resource estimate for the project, and we're pretty happy with what we've seen. So without further ado, let's just get on with it and talk about our mineral resources. Usual forward-looking statements. Quickly on where we are, we're in the northwest of Côte d'Ivoire with just under 2,500 square kilometres of exploration tenure. And our first mineral resource estimate is on 3 deposits, BBM, Charger and Empire. And so let's get on with talking about those. There it is, 32.4 million tonnes at 1.64 grams per tonne for 1.71 or just under 1.71 million ounces of gold equivalent. So BBM's forming the backbone of that, with Charger as a high-grade sweetener and Empire is a nice little near-surface open pit, which will be excellent from, we think, our startup flexibility. So let's just dig down into a little bit of detail. We are hitting the milestones that we've been talking about. So with that initial MRE out now, early in Q2, and we're well and truly on the way to delivering the PEA in early to mid Q3, and then next year we'll be putting out applying for a mining license and putting out our pre-feasibility study. So we've been hitting those milestones on time and on with the budgets that we've been given from Newmont. And so it's really exciting stuff for us to move on to PEA and PFS. So in this picture here, we're looking at a long section of BBM. We're all quite familiar with that, although now this is with a block model within. And so we've got 27.8 million tonnes at 1.52 grams per tonne gold equivalent for 1.36 million ounces at BBM. And this is really exciting stuff for us, because the key thing about the MRE is that it's a foundation, and this is something that we can definitely grow on over the next 12 months as we progress through PEA and towards PFS. There'll be mineral resource updates later in the year or early in 2027. Which we think can be quite significant on where we are now. So we have a goal of getting this, well over 2 million ounces is our target, and so one of the ways we think we can particularly grow at BBM is really we haven't developed the underground portion yet. So the underground resource is based on not that many drill holes just yet. It is an inferred resource, and also from the indicators we're seeing a steepening of the plunge, and we think with drilling extensions towards the southeast along that long section that we can increase the size of the underground resource there at BBM and also enhance the grade. So you can see the purple blocks coming in here. We think we can actually get more higher grade blocks in here and increase the grade of that underground. And that's why I've popped up this BBDD20, which is a drill hole from just out here, where we've got 38 meters at 3 grams per tonne gold and 0.5% copper. And I remember reporting those, we discounted those quite heavily. There's a 20% discount on the gold and copper values there. So now that we've moving into that PEA and getting those MET studies done, we're also seeing an improvement in those recovery grades as well. So, there is a lot of potential, just brownfields near discovery potential at BBM, extending it underground and also a little bit along strike in the shoulders up here as well. So that's exciting stuff for us. And look, just take note of this chart, because we're up to 3,000 sort of ounces per vertical metre in the open pit, and sort of we're pushing towards 2,000 ounces per vertical metre in the underground, and we think we can definitely push that up over that 2,000 ounces per vertical metre, and sort of where it tapers off down here, that's just through the data paucity. So really, lots of exciting upside potential at BBM. Moving on to Charger, there is significant room for growth, and so I've shown you the resource model over here, which is showing this really nice high-grade backbone, which is the quartz breccia, and I've chosen this oblique angle or oblique section so you can see that there are two types of breccia, so the high-grade quartz breccia and the actinolite breccia with a slightly lower grade coming out there. So we are still chasing this spine at depth. This is 400 meters coming down here, and the cross sections we've been drawing for you, or the long sections we've been drawing for you, we've been drawing long sections down to 600 meters because we know it's open down plunge. So there's resource growth down plunge at Charger at that high grade in that plus 5 gram zone there. That's definitely continuing at depth, and we haven't got any of this shoulder mineralization to the northeast and southwest. So we've got Charger 2, which we've got some initial hits on. That's sitting out on the southwest side, and we've also started doing some drilling on the northeast side as well. And those initial holes, we're seeing the right geology. So we're seeing some of that quartz breccia come up in those zones as well. And with the limited budgets that we had at Charger, we haven't completely defined the extents on the shoulders of this mineralization. So we are also doing some step-out drilling to see if we can extend Charger in this initial 400 meter zone, also extend that out along strike as well. And the holes that we've started drilling there, we are actually intercepting breccia, particularly on the northeast side, and we think that we are going to see some extensions of mineralization and some resource growth in that top 100 meters, as well as this down plunge below that 400 meter mark. And also in new discovery zones to the like Charger 2 and then to the northeast as well. So that's really exciting stuff to get that more high grade resource growth. And I have popped in this is the some sensitivities, just showing that Charger is the grade sensitivity is low, if you like, and we don't lose many ounces when we increase those cutoff grades. And then coming along to Empire, 119,000 ounces at Empire at 1.23, it really bulks out quite nicely. So there are high grade zones within, but what we've done within the model is just bulk that out into what will be looks like it will be a very low strip ratio, which really makes quite a profitable early stage pit for the Odienné project as well. So look, really exciting stuff. We're really happy with what we've seen at that 1.7 million ounces. Something I didn't discuss is that 1.64 grams per tonne. That is really nice grade compared to our peers in West Africa, and we think we can see improvements on that grade as we go along and chasing some of those more underground resources at BBM and chasing more underground or deeper resources at Charger as well. So we think some really exciting stuff coming down the pipe for us with that continued drilling, brownfields drilling around these targets. But don't forget, we've just had a discovery at Fremen, and also we're about to this quarter start up on our new Seydu permit, doing some discovery drilling up there as well. So, we've got lots of news still in the pipeline for the project. This mineral resource estimate is absolutely not a full stop. It is a foundation for future growth as we move towards PFS. And these are really exciting times for Awale, and we really are a company that you should be watching. Thanks very much for your time, and I'm sure I'll be speaking to you again very, very soon.